All right, good evening, everyone. It is Monday, January 8th. It is 7:09 PM. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The following town council members are present in chambers. Persico, Kathy Kohut, Jason Mauer, Lapellis, Jonathan Formicella, Alan Wales, and Vin Duva. The following town council member is here virtually. Kevin Reed. Following town council member is absent. Sean O'Rourke. I'm going to pass the consent calendar as presented. There's no objection. Okay, no objection. I'm passing consent calendar as presented. I ask that communication items A through P incorporated into Item 5, public participation. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate at our meeting? I will begin with those individuals that are here in town council chambers. You can if you'd like. I would just ask that you come down the microphone. I'm sorry, but it does have to be recorded and it won't pick you up over there. Take your time.
My name is Marge Busey, Tenant Commissioner at Fairway Acres, Monroe Housing Authority. I don't know if I could address this properly, but I'm looking for a couple of new board members. We are in dire need of them. Things aren't going too good there right now.
What's their responsibility?
We would need a treasurer and a secretary.
You want to say anything else?
That's what I said.
When do they meet?
Pardon?
When do they meet?
We meet the first Tuesday of the month, the second Tuesday of the month. That tomorrow we have our meeting. But since we lost Vin, we need a treasurer. So, because there's only 3 of us and that's not too good. We have a lot of problems at the housing right now. Because we had many empty units and we're trying to get them filled up. Because we're losing a lot of money yearly. So I did calculations myself. So I'm trying to see what way we could get a full board and then try and get these units filled up. Because it's more money for the Monroe Housing Authority. And that's our home. There's many things that have to be accomplished there that haven't been done. They were on an agenda in March, hoping that we get doors and windows. Hasn't happened. We did, thank you to Vincent, we did get all the finance part taken care of. You did a super job, Vincent.
Thank you.
But nothing else has happened in over 1.5 years. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
And Mr. Chairman, you'd let me know if I'm out of place. I would ask if we can put the issue of Monroe housing on tonight's agenda and discuss it amongst ourselves while Ms. Busey's here.
If you would like to make a motion.
I would like to make that motion, and
So you would like to add Monroe Housing Authority as an item of new business?
yes,
Okay. Item I. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Kathy Kohut. Any other discussion?
Just want to make sure for the purposes of notice that we would need to have sent out, that we're okay with adding an agenda item that was not noticed as part of the my understanding is so long as there's no vote anticipated and no executive session, obviously, that would be okay, but I just wanted to make sure.
Well, so when you add a new item of business to a regularly scheduled agenda, which is what our meeting is, we still need a 2/3 vote because it was not noticed. I don't anticipate any action or vote this evening, but as for adding it to our agenda, we will need at least 6 of us to agree to have it added to our agenda tonight. Okay, any other discussion?
I just want to say to let Councilman Mauer know, it's just to, my belief is that the housing authority could use assistance from other parts of the town. And I think I'm not asking for any votes necessarily, but to get the ball rolling rather than just Ms. Busey making a statement and then it goes off into the void.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of adding item I of new business, discussion on the Monroe Housing Authority, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes 8-0. That is now item I on our agenda of new business. Is there any other member of the public that would like to participate this evening in town council chambers? No? Okay. All right. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate that's here virtually, either by phone, tablet, computer? If you're here, if you dialed in, it's *6 to unmute yourself. Otherwise, if you're on your tablet or computer, you have to select the microphone with the red line through it. Once again, is there any member of the public that would like to participate at our meeting this evening that's here virtually? Hearing none, seeing none, I'm going to close public participation for the evening. We have no appointments this evening. Item 7, action items. Item A, town council. Yes.
Might I ask if we can take items out of order and perhaps move to item I on the agenda so that our guests can choose whether or not they want to stay throughout the rest of the meeting?
That's fine. That's fine, Jason. When we get to new business, I'm just
We're going to take I first.
Yeah, we'll take item I.
Wonderful.
All right, action items. Town Council Committee on Finance, Education, Health, and Public Safety Matters. Madam Vice Chair.
So number one, let me introduce Janice Persico. She's now joined us. PEPS. And we elected Enid Lapellis as the chair of PEPS.
Okay,
I think that's about it.
that's it. All right, sounds good. Congratulations, Madam Vice Chair, who is now Chair of FEPS. Okay, item B, Town Council Committee on Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Park and Recreation Matters. Councilmember Duva.
So we were able to finally meet tonight, thankfully. I am going to be the chairman of the subcommittee. I will also be the liaison for planning and zoning. Councilman O'Rourke will be the liaison for public works, and Councilwoman Cohood is going to be the liaison for parks and rec.
Thank you very much. All right, item C, Town Council Committee on Legislative and Administrative Matters. Councilmember Reed.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. We did meet tonight, and I am getting our agenda packet out as we speak. Of course, it doesn't load when you want it to, right? So we discussed 7 items of new business tonight. Connecticut Recreational Trails Grant Personal Service Agreement, agreement between the town of Monroe and KGA, also with the Monroe Police Department and KGA, Time Clock Plus LLC service terms and conditions, Connecticut Broadcasters Association Alternative Broadcast inspection program, regarding also the 3-day blind service agreement you'll hear about, and the individuals authorized to transact on the town's Janney Montgomery Scott LLC account. All reached consensus to move to council.
Thank you very much. Item D, Strategic Plan Committee. We will have a meeting on the 10th of this week at the library meeting rooms in the basement at 5:45 PM to discuss upcoming capital projects. It's at that opportunity, department heads will present their capital projects to the strategic plan committee
The library.
at the library. And so we will gather some information about those before voting on a recommendation at a later meeting. Okay. Item E, EMS Building Committee. First Selectman Rooney, do you have any update?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First off, Mr. Reed, you can see us by video, correct? For some reason, the screen that's coming up in council, we can't see anyone, but you can see us, correct?
Yeah, I can. There's actually there's like a really nice picture of a lake or something. I can't tell exactly what,
So
but
you-
I think it's
so
just
you
because you
can't
have the
see us.
monitors off.
I'm looking for a way to correct that, but
Yeah, you just got to flip the monitor, but maybe I could show you later or something. But I can see you if I flip the Zoom screen, so I can see you. Frank
Okay.
just got up, actually. Right?
Okay.
Didn't Frank just get up? Yep.
Maybe it's Frank, never know.
So they can see us. They saw you get up. Okay.
are you plugged in over there, Frank? And maybe
So that meeting is.
it's just my opportunity to talk, and I know we've been looking at this beautiful view.
Frank, you went to a blue screen. That's never good.
That's, well, Frank came up and asked me, and I said, well, I don't want to press anything because we are recording video and we are also recording. Wait, while Frank's,
Hey.
There we go.
there we go. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll reset.
So yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In regards to the EMS Building Committee, the architect has finally signed off on the final requisitions. So we will be having a meeting soon to end our journey into a new EMS building. I anticipate, right now it's just hard to find time in the schedule with budget season being afoot. But we will have that done and hopefully get this building resolved and done, and we can move on to bigger and better things. So thank you. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Item F, Open Space Preservation Acquisition Committee. They have not met since our last town council meeting. Finally, item G, the First Selectman's update. First Selectman Rooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will be handing down a couple of probably should have done that a little earlier, but we're here. Everybody have one? Set?
Thank you.
So now that we're, Happy New Year, everybody, first of all, and, we're through the holidays at this point, but some of this is, reports in regards to what occurred during the holidays. So I was invited to the menorah lighting on December 12th. The evening was festive with the lighting of the menorah and the town green. Very, very significant attendance. And it was probably one of the coldest nights, a lot of dancing, prayer reading, historical stories dating back to ancient empires. It was very, very interesting for me to learn the group. It was a great event. So that occurred. We had a Chamber of Commerce luncheon. So I attended the Chamber of Commerce luncheon at Flames Restaurant, December 12th, was asked to speak. My message, as always, was for positive business growth in the areas our people both need and want. Our businesses obviously are the backbone of our local economy and the drivers of our growth and future. As always, I emphasized the need for our community to support all of our businesses, both existing and new. One of a really nice event that we went to is the New Haven Toy Drive, hosted by WPLR, Jazz and AJ. Some of you may have seen that. A lot of kind people, businesses, the governor, many selectmen, mayors from all over the state attended. It was a record turnout. Altruism is always an admirable human trait, and to see the number of toys and donations was nothing less than incredible. This year's toy drive for them raised over $160,000, and there was literally a mountain of toys for children of all ages. So I'm sure many children this Christmas were happy because of the donations of all the people in the surrounding areas. We also had a Monroe toy drive here. The annual Monroe Police Department toy drive was a success as always. The benefactor of that is the Center for Family Justice, and they're committed to many efforts for the benefits of the community. And the toy drive is just another great example of their outreach to people in need. As I said, a truck full of toys were received from Monroe citizens, making it a great success. Many of you attended and donated, so thank you to this council and thank you to the citizens. I was there for a lot of hours, and it was a constant group of people coming in to donate. So thank you. Ribbon cuttings, Massac High School was presented with a $200,000 grant for needed technology updates. Those upgrades have provided additional flexibility and value to current and future students. Monroe representatives that attended included State Rep Tony Scott, Technology Director Paul Kors, and Economic Development Director William Holsworth. Congressman Himes also attended, along with others involved in the science, technology, engineering, and math program. Also a ribbon cutting for Glenroe Liquors, celebrate a landmark anniversary of 50 years. Roy Nealon, the previous owner, a past and present honorable member of the community, passed on to Larry Cass, who has always been extremely generous to the citizens and the charitable organizations in Monroe. It is not a surprise to me that they have been a success. In attendance was Bill Holsworth, our EDC director, Ray Giovanni from the Chamber of Commerce, and Mr. Lee Hostler and others. And just, it's not on here, but I'd just like to add promotions. Josh Grice, in Department of Public Works, has been promoted to crew chief. So congratulations, Josh. And thank you very much for your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's it for action items. We have no matters of unfinished business this evening. Item 9, new business. We'll take item I out of order. Monroe Housing Authority board membership and update. Council member Duva, you've asked to put this on the agenda, so I will defer to you to begin this.
Thank you. As we heard, and just so everyone knows, I was on the Monroe Housing Authority for the full year and then portion of the most recent year. Before I left, I was the treasurer and the acting secretary. So I was, doing two jobs. And as Ms. Busey said, there's a lack of members of that commission. When town council came up, I was in no way able to do both. So I resigned my commission there. So there's as she said, they need, I think they have the chairperson, vice chair, and then Ms. Busey, who is the tenant commissioner. There's various issues. As she spoke, I think there may be others. I think she's came here tonight to reach out to see how either we, the council, or while First Selectman Rooney's here, if maybe his office can be of assistance. I don't know to what extent he is aware of their issues, but this is a good, I think, place at least to start. I think there should probably be an emphasis on filling their spots. And I don't know what body for Selectman's office, some other body can assist them, but they are all really nice people. I enjoyed my time working with them. I want them to have a enjoyable living environment with as little stress as possible. So I'm open to any kind of suggestions or anything from the First Selectman that can assist them.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Formicello, I'd like to refer to the town attorney because this issue did come up in our office. And we did have a preliminary idea to move forward. Maybe our town attorney can elaborate on what we attempted to do. Mr. Town Attorney, Mr. Lito?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chairman, essentially, the first selectman has authorized, myself to attend the Monroe Housing Authority's meeting, just to try to offer some assistance from the town side to assess what is happening with the authority, what their concerns are, and then essentially to bring back through the selectman's office the issues to see how, if and how the town can offer assistance. And I assume that once that occurs, that he will report the findings to this body to see how this body can potentially assist. I will say that Mr. Kellogg also had been working on this for some time. We did offer assistance to the housing authority on various legal issues that did come up over time, over the last couple of years with respect to elections, votes, meetings, things of that nature, just as a kind of a consultant to offer guidance. But the housing authority is an interesting animal, as many of those associations are in the state of Connecticut, where they have inherent statutory authority to exist and are essentially self-governing, sovereign kind of entities within the community. So there's a very interesting dynamic between what the town is able to do legally and what the town can offer by way of consultation and guidance. And really, the latter is what the town can do. I know that having the authority be located within the town of Monroe, it's obviously of great concern to all of us here on council and all of our community, and we want to participate in any way, shape, or form that we can. I know that Mr. Rooney, as Mr. Kellogg did, has offered full support of my office to assist them in any way that we can. So my goal is to meet with them to assess what's going on. I can't help, unfortunately, with appointing individuals to that board, and I know this body will take care of that. But my goal is to meet with them, assess what's going on, offer any guidance that I could, report back to the selectmen with the selectmen's authority, and potentially with the authority of this body if needed, to kind of help guide them. But that's what I plan on doing, and that's what I will do in the near future. I know they have a meeting tomorrow, and I intend on going tomorrow to that meeting to offer my assistance.
If I could I apologize, if I could just add one thing, just in the spirit of complete transparency, Mr. Lito, I believe there was a meeting you were scheduled to attend, and that meeting was canceled. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's been multiple, yes. I can tell you that there has been multiple meetings that I've offered to attend. And for one reason or another, no, mostly unknown, those meetings were canceled in advance of, or upon the town's offering of my assistance, those meetings were canceled. And so I was not able to attend any of those meetings. So I'm hopeful that I will be able to attend those meetings either tomorrow or in the near future.
Thank you. So I think we as town council members can help them if we go back to our respective parties and or friends or people who know in the community that want to get involved in Monroe. Maybe you suggest to them to reach out to, either the RTC chair or the DTC chair to apply and get their names involved.
If I may inquire, the board positions that are open, is there a specific manner, because this is a statutory body, is there a specific manner for selection or appointment of a board member? Is there a process for it? Is it different than any other board in terms of application or selection?
Yeah, there is a different process.
And what is that process?
I don't have it offhand, but it's a statutory process. I did do an analysis of it. I'm happy to provide it to you.
Can you just give me the statute number?
I don't have it with me.
I do.
But I can look it up
Thank you.
for you.
Jason, pass
I actually can find, you have it, Jason?
Yeah, chapter 4, section 18 is it's for the town charter, and then it's
Charter references statute.
So
I can get it for you, Ms. Cohen,
So,
because I have a opinion letter somewhere in my
it would just be useful information.
small computer. I have an opinion letter that I did issue.
there are certain requirements like that has to have a certain number of, I think it's at least one individual that lives there.
There's 5 members and one of them has to be a resident. There are 2 processes. We have a Monroe Housing Authority that serves as liaison to the town, but they also have a tenant commissioner and they have call it a homeowners authority that has statutory, provides them with the internal statutory guidance to govern the association. So there's really, we're talking about 2 different authorities.
I get it. But what I heard from the commentary was that they are short board members and are therefore stymied in their work. My question was, is there a specific procedure for the selection, appointment, or whatever of a board so they can have a full complement and proceed with their work and the filling of the empty units and repairs and renovations or whatever they need to do?
That's exactly what we're going to get to the bottom of when I meet with them. Again, I can send you the references. And
Okay.
I can send you it's a pretty detailed opinion letter that I did provide to Selectman Kellogg when they were going through election of their resident commissioner.
Okay.
That's a pretty detailed process, but I'm happy to, with the chairman's permission, I'm happy to send it to you and I'll send it to you through the chair.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, any other discussion?
If I just may add, I appreciate and I thank for Selectman Rooney and Attorney Lido for looking into this and providing whatever help they can.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Mauer.
Thank you. So my understanding is that it's supposed to be a 5-member board appointed by the selectmen. Are those appointments made through recommendations by the vacancy committees as with other commissions and authorities within the town?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do we have a specific minority representation requirement within this committee?
Yes.
Do we know what the current needs of which vacancy chair should be making recommendations to make sure we at least meet those requirements?
I do not have that knowledge. Asking me.
I would refer that at this point personally to Mr. Duva. He may have a better outline of exactly where the committee sits at this point.
The vice chair and I were appointed at the same time, and I think they are, we were Republicans. So the vice chair is, I do not know what the chairperson, what her affiliation is. But I don't think it's Republican because I don't know. I don't want to say because I don't know. But the
I can
vice
certainly
chair,
look into that from my office and call my side of the aisle and see what we need to do. And you guys can call your side and we can meet together to help these folks.
And my understanding is there's currently 3 people on, correct?
yes.
That's my understanding as well.
2 spots.
So there's 2, I'm just stating because the website actually shows 3 vacancies, but 3 people on and says 5 members. So I wanted to make sure where the typo was, number 1. So the typo is that it's only 2 vacancies,
That's my understanding.
one of which would be replacing you.
Well, I was doing 2 jobs. So you do.
No, meaning your spot.
Right, my spot, and then
Yes.
there would be another spot.
Okay.
The leadership vote, that's on the
So
housing authority to decide.
If my deductive reasoning here is working with 5 spots, one of which was a Republican, 2 of which we also know that are currently on there are Republican, that would leave 1 from the Republican vacancy chair and 1 from the Democratic vacancy chair. Sounds like to me minority representation guidelines.
On a five?
On a
I
five,
think it's
three and two,
two,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be 1 and 1, it sounds like. So,
And-
okay.
And just so we're clear, one of the members has to be a tenant commissioner. And then I think Ms. Busey is tenant commissioner, if I'm correct? Right.
So that need has already been met.
Correct.
So the others, there's no other requirement that needs to be met by either of these. They just have to be appointed from the vacancy chairs.
And
Okay.
statutory reference is, it's 8-40 at SEC, but it's 844. 8-44 establishes the powers of the Monroe Housing Authority.
Thank you for that.
Can you say it again, Frank?
It's 8-40 and thereafter. So you really want to look at 840 and then 8-44 is what is most relevant.
And also, just if I could add, as far as I know, Ms. Busey was appointed by a vote of the tenants, not by a political party. So I believe that 4 spots are subject to political appointments. The tenant commissioner is voted upon by the residents, and then I guess I think she was approved by,
That would explain the 3 vacancies then? Because then is it 5 appointed by the selectmen and then the 1 lieutenant commissioner, making it a total of 6 people on the
I'm not sure.
No, it's 5.
My understanding was it was 5 total.
5 total?
One as a tenant.
Yeah, so if I may, just to give you, since we're talking about it, so I issued a letter of opinion on February 22nd, 2023. The reason for the opinion was that the Housing Authority had undergone an election, a required election for the appointment of the tenant commissioner. And there's a very specific process promulgated by statute that they must follow, the MHA must follow in order to elect the tenant commissioner. And there was a question as to whether or not that election was done properly. As this council probably doesn't recall because you have so much business, but on March 21st, on or about March 21st, 2023, I issued an opinion which was attached to the then First Selectman Kellogg's memo to in this regard, whereby if the statute, my opinion was essentially that it was highly likely that the MHA did not follow the statute properly. And as a result, there was a question as to whether or not Ms. Busey was properly elected and appointed as the tenant commissioner. And essentially, if you don't, just summarizing my opinion, if you don't follow the process timely, there's very strict time constraints that you have to follow. Then the first selectman appoints the resident commissioner. And Mr. Kellogg thought it would be appropriate to essentially ratify the votes of the commission, since Ms. Busey didn't garner most of the votes, that he just appointed Ms. Busey to that position. And that's what happened back in March. It was my opinion, based on the totality circumstances, that would be an appropriate thing for him to do, just to kind of balance the suspenders the approach. When it does say, it shall consist of 5 resident members, each serving a 5-year term, all appointed by the first selectman pursuant to 8-40. Again, I'm summarizing, so please don't think I write this way. The terms shall remain staggered so that not more than one commissioner's term expires in any year. Most importantly, at least one commissioner must be a tenant of the authority. The chairman elected by the commissioners shall serve a 3-year term. There must be an elected vice chairman and there may be a secretary who shall be the executive director. 844 establishes the powers of the MHA and constitutes it a public body, corporate and politic, which means that they're a sovereign authority. They have their own responsibility and power to carry out the purposes and provisions of Chapter 128 of the Connecticut General Statutes. And then it goes on to talk about the outline of the process to appoint the tenant commissioner. I suggested that he appoint Ms. Busey, present it to town council for a vote. Just to, I guess, a belt and suspender. So that's where we were with that whole process.
Thank you. Okay. So,
Felt like I was.
what we're gonna do is gonna try to find two new members for the Housing Authority. Attorney Lito is going to go to their meeting, try to work with the first selectman and provide as much guidance as the town can to the Housing Authority, given the limitation that the Housing Authority is its own independent body, separate from the town, other than the appointment of certain commissioners. Okay, thank you. All right, hearing nothing else, I'm going to close item I. All right, item A, acceptance of the following donations that individually exceed $1,500. I move that the town council accept the following donations. To the Monroe Food Pantry, $5,000 from Robert Farr. Farmers Market, $3,000 from Robert Farr. Project Warren, $5,000 from Robert Farr.
Second.
All right, motion by Markella, seconded by Jason Mauer. First Selectman Rooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we know, many organizations rely on donations. I see this as a really generous donation from Robert Farr to the Food Pantry, Farmers Market, Project Warmth. I'm sure we could agree. I like to thank Mr. Farr for that generous donation and surely use these funds wisely to benefit the community. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 8-0. Item B, Resolution 24-002. Madam Vice Chair.
Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, First Selectman of the Town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the Town of Monroe services agreement and any associated documents by and between KGA Incorporated, the town employees, employee assistance services.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. There's a motion to adopt Resolution 24-002. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Some of you are aware, not all of you are aware, that the town utilizes KGA Incorporated for the provision of the Town Employee Assistance Program, EAP. Currently, the existing agreement for town employees is expiring, and therefore a renew agreement with KGA has been provided. Our HR Director, Craig Hirsch, was able to negotiate this renewal agreement without an increase until the third fiscal year, at which point there would be a slight increase of $500 for a total of $4,750 in the third fiscal year. This agreement has been received by our town attorney, who provided the attached opinion letter. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Mauer.
Just that we've discussed this in LNA. I did ask about our satisfaction with KGA up to this point, at which we were advised that the town has been very satisfied with their use and is actually looking into expanding the use of KGA into other aspects of the town. Further, that even after the increase in the third year, we would be at a lower budget line item for this than we were prior to the use of KGA in these services. And KGA is providing more services than its predecessor.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting Resolution 24-002, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, passes 8-0. Item C, Resolution 24-003. Madam Vice Chair.
Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, First Selectman of the Town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the Town of Monroe services agreement and any associated documents by and between KGA Incorporated for the Monroe Police Department Employee Assistance Services.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. There is a motion to adopt Resolution 24-003. Is there a second? Second by Donald Wales. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is basically a duplicate of the town side. As many of you are aware, some of you are not, being new to council. The town utilizes KGA for the provision of the Town Employee Assistance Program, EAP. Currently, the existence agreement to the Monroe Police Department is expiring. Therefore, a renew agreement with KGA has been provided. Once again, our HR Director, Craig Hirsch, was able to negotiate this renewal agreement without an increase until the third fiscal year, at which point there will be a slight increase of $250 for the total of $2,500 in the third fiscal year. This agreement has been reviewed by our town attorney, who provided an attached opinion letter.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Is there any other discussion?
Mr. Chair, I just have one question relative to the annual budget. Do we know what the utilization of the EAP services are through KGB by the employees or by the police department in this case?
Can you rephrase that quick?
Sure. How much do they actually use it?
So obviously, some of that is confidential, but, I could get that, a little bit more of that information for you. I would have to talk to.
I asked the question primarily because it is a small amount for the number of employees. And, 3 counseling sessions isn't very much if there are trauma-associated needs and things of that nature. That is where my inquiry comes from. I'm not asking for any HIPAA-protected information. I'm just asking about utilization and whether or not this is something we would consider increasing going forward. This is a 3-year contract, correct?
Yeah, no, I appreciate the input. The HR Director, Mr. Hirsch, is here, that may be able to provide some information on that. Greg?
Yes.
Thank you.
I do get a report from KGA. Right now, we had in the past one half of the year, there was 12 individuals that did utilize the services. So that's one of the things that Jason Bauer did mention, expanding the utilization of KGA, because a lot of people don't understand or are aware of all the different services that they offer. So that's one thing that we're going to be working on. The other thing you mentioned was the amount of counseling services. The first 3 are free. That's part of the service that KGA provides. After that, someone can continue to use those counseling services. That would just go on to the insurance.
And one other question, PD obviously falls under the first responder category. Are there any services also provided to the volunteer EMS services or the fire services?
Greg?
Yeah, those services are available to our first responders or volunteers as well.
Also through this
Yes.
same contract? Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-004, 003, please say aye. All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 8-0. Item D, resolution 24-004, Madam Vice Chair.
Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe service terms and conditions agreement with Time Clock Plus LLC for time clock services for emergency medical services.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. There's a motion to adopt resolution 24-004. Is there a second? Second. Second by Tim Duva. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kurt Anderson, General Manager for WMNR, would like to retain the services for Connecticut Broadcasters Association to provide WMNR with licensed Federal Communications Commission.
Mr. Selectman, wrong one.
I'm sorry.
24004.
Time clock.
Time clock. I'm so sorry. No, I have it here. I apologize. As you're aware, our emergency medical service EMS utilizes the Time Clock Plus LLC system to log and track volunteer time, equipment, certifications, and training. Our EMS administrator has obtained a renewal agreement for the timekeeping and schedule services through the current vendor, Time Clock Plus LLC. Our EMS administrator has recommended signing a 3-year agreement, which will provide an estimated cost savings of $800 over the 3 years. This agreement, which is provided for your review and consideration, has been reviewed by our town attorney, who provided the attached opinion letter.
All right, thank you, First Selectman Rooney. Any other discussion on 24-004, which is the Time Clock Plus service terms and conditions?
Mr. Chair.
Member Mallon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a note for the council that the $800 savings, I did inquire on that during LNA. It is the belief of our selectman, though he was not positive, that that $800 savings is the calculation as to what would be saved compared to contracting them out 1 year, 1 year, 1 year over the next 3 years, not an $800 savings over what we are currently paying on these contracts, just over what 3 1-year subscriptions would be.
Thank you.
And I will clarify that for you with Mr. Rosenberg also.
Thank you. Any other discussion on 24-004? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-004, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, motion passes. Item E, resolution 24-005. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 24-005. That Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute on the town of Monroe, Connecticut broadcaster alternate broadcaster inspection program agreement and any associated documents by and between CBA for facility inspector services.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. There's a motion to adopt resolution 24-005. Is there a second? Second by Donaldin Wales. Mr. First Selectman.
Well, thank you. Now I'll read this in the correct order. Kurt Anderson, General Manager for WMNR, would like to retain the services of the Connecticut Broadcasters Association to provide WMNR with licensed Federal Communications Commission inspectors, the FCC inspectors, to examine the WMNR facilities in an effort to identify deficiencies and confirm compliance with the complex regulations of the FCC. This matter has been reviewed by our town attorney, who provided the attached opinion letter.
Thank you. Any discussion on resolution 24-005?
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Mauer.
Just that it was confirmed during LNA that the expenses for this are paid through the WMNR budget rather than the town budget.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-005, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 8-0. Item F, resolution 24-006. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 24-006. Resolved that Terrence P. Rooney, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe contract and consent to use electronic records and signatures and any associated documents by and between 3 Day Blinds LLC for the senior center.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. There's a motion to adopt resolution 24-006. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our Director of Community Social Services has been replacing the existing old window blinds at the senior center. Once again, she has identified 3 Day Blinds LLC as an appropriate vendor to continue this effort. The project will be paid from funds bequeathed through the senior center from the James Fogarty estate. 3DB has provided their contract for this purchase, which has been reviewed by the town attorney, who provided the attached opinion letter.
Thank you. Any other discussion on resolution 24-006?
Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Mauer.
Just that it was confirmed in LNA that the use of estate funds for this purpose is acceptable use per the terms of the estate.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting resolution 24-006, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 8-0. Item G, resolution 24-007. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution -007 regarding individuals authorized to transact on the town's account with Janney Montgomery Scott LLC. So.
I move that we waive the reading of. I move that we waive the reading of the Janney corporate resolution.
Second.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of waiving the reading, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing no opposed, waiving the reading passes 8-0. We have a motion on the table to adopt resolution 24-007. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jason Mauer. Motion was by Vice Chair Lapellis. Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For roughly 15 years, the town has held certain U.S. government-backed bonds with Jenny Montgomery Scott LLC. The town treasurer has alerted me to the fact that this account requires authorization to place my name as authorized to transact on the account as a newly elected first selectman. Jenny has provided their standardized form inclusive of the required resolution, which has been attached herein as Resolution 24-007. The document has been reviewed by our town attorney, who provided the attached opinion letter.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Any other discussion on the adoption of Resolution 24-007? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting Resolution 24-007, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 8-0. I move that the town council enter executive session inviting the first selectman and the town attorney. Is there a second? Second by Donaldin Wales. This executive session is to discuss pending litigation. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of entering executive session, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, entering executive session passes at 7:59 PM. Thank you. Please stop the recording.